Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sisters review. This is season 6, episode 17, trailer breakdown. And the title of this episode is Taste of Freedom. And the synopsis is Danny avoids a difficult conversation with Preston. Andy, Danny, and Sabrina's triple date at Jordan's takes an unexpected turn. It's always something unexpected when we're dealing with these heifers. But anyway, if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, tell somebody to tell somebody, all that good stuff. But if not, just sit back, relax, and we're going to get right into this messy, messy thing. Now, Preston shows up at the airport where he has overheard a little of the conversation between Danny and Tony. And he asked Tony how long has he known Danny. Tony replies with, man, we work together. I said, no. Don't be coy now. Don't be coy now, and don't try to downplay the position that you've been playing since you entered our orbit, okay? Tony has been trying to push up on Danny since the moment he appeared on our screens. So now all of a sudden, since you done seen her man, you trying to downplay it. I don't like people like that. Stand on business. Stand on what you've been standing on. Don't be coy. Don't try to, fall back, step back now saying, man, we just work together. Duh, he knows that. But your whole position has been trying to push up on Danny and completely disregard, I understand, this farce of a relationship, if you can call it that she has with Preston. You still wrong, sir, because this woman's in a relationship. However, like I've said many times before, Danny has not set the tone to say, hey, I'm in a committed relationship, and actually stand on it without giving Tony the possibility of something happening between them. Because in my mind, she hasn't rejected anything that Tony has been throwing down. She has stated that she was in a relationship, but she comes off as extremely available. So Andy tells Sabrina that they are going to party because we know that Sabrina and Maurice, everything has been cleared. They don't have to deal with this bank robbery situation anymore. They can go back to their lives as well as get their jobs back. So Sabrina asks Andy if Jordan has called her. And Andy tells her that he hasn't. And she says it as if she's a little irritated by the fact that he has not called, which I don't understand because they've already agreed to have dinner at Jordan's that night. So I'm like, what are you upset about? What are you perturbed about? What are you irritated about? So whether he called her or not it should be irrelevant. Because what's the point when you've already made plans? But we know that these sisters will make the smallest things appear to be catastrophic. And this is my thing too. This is just my situation. When you're in your late 30s, bump it. I ain't even gonna say in your late 30s. When you're in a career or you're on your job, when you have children, you have, friends and family, you have things that you are doing. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have an exorbitant amount of free time on your hands. And this is just me. If you are a grown ass adult and you have an enormous amount of time of free time, that is alarming for me. Because what are you doing, ma'am? What are you doing, sir? Are you making plans? Do you have a budget? Are you trying to get into, home ownership programs? Are you planning trips with your friends? Are you planning trips with your family? Are you organizing anything? Are you giving back to the community? What are you doing? So when I'm trying to understand where Andy is coming from, because you're on your job. You're fully involved in your career and you are irritated because this man hasn't called you. If anything, you should be happy he doing whatever. I don't understand it. That's just me though. That's just me. I know we all different, but that's just, even with my friends, when it's like you have so much free time, what the hell are you doing? I cannot talk to you every day. What are you doing with your time, sis? We need to be pushing each other. We need to hold each other accountable so that we can grow and become better at whatever it is that we're trying to do. But having all that free time, I don't understand it. We are not in high school. Okay, thank you for attending my TED Talk. I'm gonna move right on along. So Zack asked the attorney, what is he supposed to do in reference to Michael? And the attorney tells him that, he's gonna get him an emergency hearing, which is what Fatima has told him from the very beginning that she was working on for him. And obviously this is the attorney that she was referring to. Then we see Tony ask Danny how things went with Preston.
See, let's stop right there. Stop right there.
Sir, that's none of your business. Now, y'all, I've said this many times. I love an assertive man. I do. I love men who take charge. It's just, hopefully, that could be a toxic trait, okay? I'm not saying that it's not, but I am fully invested in men who are assertive, who knows what they want, and they go after it in a respectful way. Had to make that clear. In a respectful way. Now, Tony, honestly, I don't believe that Tony is a bad guy, but I believe the way that he was presented to us, it was a turnoff for me. So now him as a character has to work above and beyond to make me like him or make me care about him being on the show, because the way that he was presented, I just wasn't like, how am I supposed to like this person? I could understand if Danny was loud and he overheard all of her conversations. I get that. I understand that. But it was just the way that he went about it. Even if you knew all of those things, slow walk her into it. Don't reveal her whole life story the first time that you have any verbal interaction with her. It was like you're a stalker. Something isn't right with you. That would be crazy as hell for me if somebody approached me and they were like, yeah, Alicia, yeah, I've heard this. And I know your friend X, Y, and Z. And I know that they live in North Carolina and some of your friends in Tallahassee. And then you went to fam and, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, sir. Who are you? Who are you? Like, that is crazy. That is crazy. And y'all know we live in a world that you just got to be careful because, sir, how do you know this information? And that's the thing about Tony, that he just oversteps. Even coming to Danny and asking her how things went with Preston, what does that have to do with you? You need to fall the hell back. And the more I see Tony, the more he just rubs me the wrong way. Because I just don't like that he's that pushy. But moving right on along, Andy gets a call from Jordan while Fatima is in her office. And she acts like she doesn't want to answer the phone. After you look like you was irritated when Sabrina asked you had he called. No, he hasn't. Now the man is calling you and you acting like you don't want to answer the phone. What is your problem? Girl, jump in the pool and cool off. Then we see Fatima. And Fatima asks Zack, does, he just want to go get him? And I believe they're referring to Michael. And Zack says, I like that. And I'm like, no, Zack, you don't like that. No. Now, I read the comments and so many people be coming for me when you just don't like Zack and you don't never give him no credit and you don't never. I'm like, okay, whatever. But this is one of the few times I am actually rooting for Zack. Like, I'm really rooting for Zack, because if Michael is in a situation where he is being abused and he is not being treated the way he needs to be, then obviously, yes, he needs to be out of the household with Heather, okay? Especially if that's the way that Tyler's going to write it. He going to make Heather appear trashy and money hungry and all of this. So if we're going in that direction, then of course, I would not want him to be in that type of environment. Secondly, when you're dealing with children and you're dealing with the law, you have to ride that line very closely. To just go and get him, you don't have the right to just go and get him. What does that even mean? You gonna walk into Heather's house? We know Fatima don't mind just going to somebody's house. So y'all just gonna go in her house and take her son? Like, that is not even thinking logically. And I always go back to, because Zack already has a history of violent behavior, he is on probation for armed robbery. You can't just go and get your son. You have to take proper precaution. Now, on the other hand, I do know what it's like where I wouldn't be thinking lawfully in the moment if I feel like my child is being abused or touch my children or like any child in my family, like my cousins, my godson. I would be trying to hurt you. And I'm just going to be honest with it. So I do understand that aspect of it. However, trying to think clearly, you want to be the person who's raising your son. So doing things that are not lawful is not going to put Zack or Michael in a beneficial situation. And that's easier said than done, but sometimes you just got to put your junk to the side so that you can do things the right way. And having, like I said, Top Gun Fatima over here who just want to go shoot up people and do all of that stuff, like you can't do that when you're dealing with the beneficial nature of a child. You just can't function like that. Then we see this mess here. And man, Tyler, why you doing this to my chocolate drop? Okay. We see Bayo. First of all, why the hell is he even in Sabrina's home? That's just another situation. I'll talk about that once I actually see the episode. So Bayo tells Sabrina he's angry. So obviously something has happened that has caused him to be in an enraged situation. Bayo is screaming, telling her not to ever call him again. Sabrina screams that she won't. And then he calls her an itch with the B in front. And Sabrina actually looked shocked. I said, wait a minute. What is going on? How did we get here? What is the problem? Sabrina, why is he in your house? Bayo, why are you calling my friend out her name? I said, what is this? Gosh, Bayo. Then, Sabrina has her door open. So we see that Danny is on the outside of her door. And Danny was like, wait a minute. Who's an itch? With a B in front? I said, I can't. I actually liked Bayo. Bayo was one of them dudes that's like, you definitely had to have, your guard up because you didn't know where he was coming from. Sabrina, I want to take you out to eat. Leave your purse. Leave your phone. Leave your ID. That is like red flag. You trying to dump me somewhere. And Sabrina did it. I said, you know what? But genuinely, I thought Bayo was a nice dude. I said, Tyler always got, he got to do something to make these men trash at the end of the day. But y'all, that is the trailer breakdown for the end credits trailer review. And I will come back a little later with the extended trailer review. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you to all the new subscribers, to everyone who comments, who shares it, who's telling somebody to tell somebody, people who DM me, email me. I greatly appreciate you. I really do. So until next time, those who celebrate Thanksgiving, I pray that you have a great time with your family. Those who are having a Friendsgiving, I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm going to be spending time with my family, and I'm looking forward to it. So until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.